Okay, let's contrast ABC and conventional product cost. Now, up at the top, just to the right of my mouse there, is the paragraph that I'm going to read. Harrison Company makes two products and uses a conventional costing system in which a single plant-wide predetermined overhead rate is computed based on direct labor hours. And we've got data for the two products for the upcoming year. So in the blue matrix there, you see the direct material cost per unit for Rascon and Parcel. And then we have direct labor cost per unit, direct labor hours per unit, and the number of units produced. Now, the last sentence says these products are customized to some degree for specific customers. So here's question 1 as well as the answer that you can see on the bottom half of the screen. The company's manufacturing overhead costs for the year are expected to be $576,000. Using the company's conventional costing system, compute the unit product cost for the two products. All right, so there you see the approach down below. Put a column together for Rascon, one for Parcel, then take the number of units times the direct labor hours per unit, so you come up with total direct labor hours, and we know what it is in total. Then take the manufacturing overhead, and we can divide it by the total direct labor hours to determine the predetermined overhead rate. From there, we just take the direct material costs and the direct labor, which were given in the blue area above, and then factor in the manufacturing overhead applied, and we come up with the unit product costs. All right, let's move on to requirement 2. Okay, so we've got the same information up top, and here's what it says on requirement 2. Management is considering an activity-based costing system in which half of the overhead would continue to be allocated on the basis of direct labor hours, and half would be allocated on the basis of engineering design time. This time is expected to be distributed as follows during the upcoming year. So we see 3,000, 3,000, it's a total of 6,000 in total. So now we have to compute the unit product cost if we use the proposed ABC system, and the solution appears down below. So what do we have? Well, we've got activity cost pools of labor-related and engineering design, and since it's going to be split 50-50, we know 288,000 is for labor, 288,000 is for engineering, right? We already knew it was 576,000. So the expected activity is 24,000 direct labor hours for labor and 6,000 for engineering. So using the activity rates, we come up with $12 per direct labor hour by taking A divided by B, and then taking A divided by B again to come up with 48 per engineering. So now when we do our calculations, we have a labor-related cost, an engineering design cost for total overhead. In other words, we're splitting the overhead into two different cost pools. Instead of using a single rate, we're now using two rates. And then that would tell us the total overhead divided by the number of units, and we're able to calculate what the overhead per unit would be. Okay, if you need to pause this, by all means pause the video. We'll move on. Now, the unit cost, all right, we're down this far, so we're just down to this last section down here. The unit product cost combine direct materials, direct labor, and overhead. And there we take the work that we calculated above, that $12 and $4.20, flow into our schedule down here so that we can now calculate new unit product costs. And now we can compare the conventional product cost to the new method using two cost pools or two activity drivers, right? The level of activity. And that's this problem, everyone. Thank you.